Hello, class. So, the role of assistive technologies in the classroom is very important for students with disabilities, as these technologies help students reach their educational, social, and vocational goals as listed on the IEP. As far as my personal experience with uh, assistive technologies, I've used a couple of AAC apps on the iPad to help students communicate. So, I've helped students use LAMP and ProLogo. So these apps are basically digital versions of the picture exchange communication systems that were used back in the day. So basically, these were uh, little booklets with pictures and words on them that students could point to when they wanted to say something. Um, and the digital versions of these booklets are organized around different topics and themes, with search functions where the student, caregiver, or educator can type in a word and it'll take them directly to the picture with the word, um, and then the student can select it. And and um, and with these apps, the words or sentences selected can be read out loud um, as well, and can also be adjusted to the student's current level of functioning and preferences. So I've found these apps to be very useful in helping students communicate uh, with uh, with educators. So on that note, I found AAC assistive technologies described in this module as uh, very interesting because I think that we often take for granted the ability to communicate verbally, whether that's through speech or writing. So it can be hard to imagine not being able to communicate verbally. Uh, and so I'm glad that technology has evolved to the point where uh, even even when people can't verbally communicate, they can still communicate with us through technology. The article describes six different applications for assistive technologies, and one of them was existence. So I did a little online search and found um, long handle brushes and combs. Um, and I didn't know such things existed, so it's great that if people can't move their arm all the way up to brush or comb their hair, are still able to do so and retain some kind of independence uh, as far as personal hygiene is concerned. Um, and as far as mobility, I was surprised that the article didn't mention prosthetics. So, uh, prosthetics help people remain mobile even though they may have lost one of their limbs. And that's still considered assistive technology as it helps them with their mobility. And as far as environmental uh, applications, um, something that was not mentioned in the article was vehicular modifications. So things like wheelchair lifts or pedal adjustments so that people uh, uh, with issues reaching the pedals can still reach the pedals so they can still drive even though they may not have full use of their legs. Um, so um, and I found this information through the Rehabilitation Engineering Research Center on Communication Enhancement. Um, and as far as uh, an additional assistive technology that was not mentioned in the module, um, I was surprised that uh, guide dogs were not, or service animals in general were not mentioned. I mean, these are very low tech adaptations, but it is still helping people reach their goals. So I think service animals should definitely be included in assistive technologies, even though they are relatively low tech, but it's still uh, helping people with disabilities um, have a better quality of life. For instance, guide dogs help uh, blind people to navigate their environment and serve as an alert system. So um, that's 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 all I have for this module. See you next week.